Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pink Table Talk. I am your host, Maria Reed, and we are back with another great episode. We took a little break, but we're back with new episodes today, and I can't wait to get started with these two lovely ladies that we've got on today. We've got a great topic. I know you've probably seen the promotion. It is entitled, Why Am I Not Married? I know we have the movie by Tyler Perry, why did I? What's the movie, y'all? Why did I not get? Why am I married? What's the name of it?
Why,
Y'all tell me.
why did I get married?
Why did I get married? Look, I forgot already. Why did I get married? But today we're talking about why am I not married? That's a question that a lot of people ask, singles, and sometimes we ask ourselves, and we're going to talk about it today. Got my girlfriends with me, and both of them, check this out, y'all. They're both named Kim. So I'm going to say last names today more than I normally do because of the two Kim, but I'm so glad to have them with me. We've got one of them, both of them are natural. One of them got the straight hair, and one of them got her hair in its natural state today. So I'm going to introduce the straight hair Kim real quick. She is what my mom calls her Mississippi Kim. She's on with us today. She's originally from Greenville, Mississippi. Good people. She went to school at Mississippi Valley State, got her bachelor's there, got a master's from Jackson State, HBCU, and she's resided here in the Atlanta area for over 8 years. She's just an awesome person over the singles ministry at House of Hope Atlanta, does so many great things within the community, and we are glad to have her on today. Oh, and she has a son named Roderick, who is an adult. She looks young, but she has a son. I'm not going to tell y'all his age. He's an adult. But anyway, so glad to have her. Would you all welcome Miss Kimberly Grayson? Hey, Kim.
Hey,
I'm so glad to have her with us today. And our next Kimberly that's on today, she is a graduate of Valdosta State University. She is I don't want to say a military brat, but a military child uh, from the family of Angela and Leslie Lake with her two brothers. Great family, great people. We graduated, well, I graduated ahead of her. We went to Valdosta State. She majored in video production, worked 12 years at Fellowship Bible Baptist Church in Warner Robins as the media director. She just came out with her own documentary, you guys, entitled Segregated Sundays. You got to go check that out on YouTube. Phenomenal. These two ladies are phenomenal. But would you all please welcome Miss Kimberly Lake? So glad to have her with us today. I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad y'all are here. And I think the two of you all are really going to bring some enlightenment to this subject. If you're just tuning in, y'all, we are talking about why am I not married? So if you got single girlfriends, tell them we're on. Shoot this to somebody you know because we're going to be talking about the whole bit. It's going to be good. So we are all single for various reasons. So I want to ask each one of you just a question. Why are you not married? And I'll start with you, Kim Grayson. Why aren't you married?
I think it's for a variety of reasons. Um,
Uh huh.
for a long time, I didn't want to be married. I didn't want to be in a serious relationship after my son went to college because I
Mhm.
was a teenage mother. And for most of my adult life, every decision I made, everything I did was about somebody else. I had to be mindful of another person, how it's going to affect that other person. And once he became an adult, I did not want to be married or did not want to be in a relationship because I wanted
It
to do
makes
what
sense.
I wanted to do without being accountable to somebody else, without having to consider somebody else's
Mhm.
feelings. And in the midst of that, I think I became very selfish and self centered when it comes to connecting with somebody else. So it took
Mhm.
me a minute to come to that realization about myself. You know, I had to do some self awareness. Um, and then I tried relationships after that, and they weren't working. So I had to go back and do another self check because I had to figure out what was going on that I could not be in a relationship. And so at that point, I
Mm.
decided I really didn't know what I wanted in a relationship. I thought I knew what I wanted,
Okay.
but then when I would seek certain things and get what I wanted, then that wasn't what I wanted. So it's a lot of reasons. And now I've become so busy. My life has become extremely busy.
Mhm.
And So it's been kind of hard getting out, mixing and mingling. And then with the pandemic, it has made it worse. But before then, but
Yeah.
I think, and there are several other reasons that I can't think of off the top of my head. But
I get it. I get it. And I'm sure it's a lot of women who are watching like you know, you raise your kids, you got a routine going, you got everything popping the way it pops. It's been popping that way for a long time. So it's like if I bring somebody else in, it's gonna be a little different. So I like that. Kim look, I'm like Kimberly Lake. What is your take on that? Why are you not in your mindset? Why are you not married?
I think for me, it's just a tad bit different. I think it's just a timing issue
Hmm.
with me. I think the goals that I have and I believe the purpose God gave me, it would have been hard to
Hmm.
kind of pursue it married and with children, being with somebody.
Right.
So looking back, I really think it's a timing issue and not like, because sometimes you think like, is something wrong with me? Like, what's going on? Because you do want to get married,
Hmm.
but for me, I just really think it was a timing issue.
That makes sense. I can agree with that. And while we're talking about that, I know, and this is just from my own standpoint, with our culture, sometimes as we get older, it's kind of I can tell when I was in my 20s and people would ask me, "Oh, you're single?" They'd be like, "Oh, girl, that's right. You travel, you do whatever you want to do." Then when you get in your 30s, they're like, "Okay, well, God's gonna send you somebody. It's working okay." Then late 30s, early 40s, it's like, so what's going on? It's almost like they want to say, "What's wrong with you?" They say it in different ways,
Right.
but it's like, and the thing about it, as a woman, they say that to me, but my brother, who is a year and 9 months away from me in age, he's single, no children. And when people find that out, they start dapping him up. They like, it's almost like he escaped from getting married. Everybody's cool with it. Nobody says anything to him. So in our culture, do you all feel pressure about marriage? Like the looks and how people will say, and of course you can't always go off of what people say, but do you feel any kind of pressure? And I'll start with you, Kim Lake, about that. Do you feel any kind of culture pressure or family pressure?
Yes, there's tons of pressure, like what you said. Look, to piggyback off what you said, there is a lot of pressure for women to be married because in our culture, our value is tied to a man or being married. So, like, it's like if you've been
Hmm.
chosen or picked, it's like your value is a lot. So, when you're not married, like, I can relate to that. Like, in your late 20s, people are like, okay. Then you get 30s, people are like, okay, you're not married. And then, like, mid and 30s and up, it's like, okay, like, what's wrong with you kind of thing. So I really think that
Hmm.
our culture pressures us and tells us as women that we need to be married, and that's like the ultimate goal, and that's where our true value
Right.
lies. So I think it's very, very true. Very sad, but very true.
It is. It really is. What about you, Kimberly Grayson? What do you feel about that? How do you feel any pressure, or you just like whatever?
well, I used to feel pressure um, because, like both of you said, the culture is that, especially in church, it's like if you're not married, something is wrong with you. And then every married, well, not every, but all the married women think you want their husbands.
Right.
And so that's a different type of, because if I don't get married, I'm gonna be known as the church slut, or you know, you're laughing, but I'm very serious. You know
I know you're
it.
serious. I know you're serious.
So I used to feel that pressure, but now I'm at a point where if I'm comfortable with who I am, would I like to get married one day? Of course. But if I don't, I'll be okay. You know, I'm good if
Right.
I don't. Um, if you
Hmm.
got a problem with me being single, that's your problem, not mine.
Right.
So I've gotten to the point that I don't let it bother me anymore.
I want you to talk to us about what your experience is like as a millennial in the entertainment industry.
I would honestly say that my gender probably played more of a factor than my age did. She's a female, so she probably don't really know, or she probably can't really, and so then they will just write me off. But We got that together.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. Alright, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
This is for more than people with just anxiety.
Yes, absolutely.
Help us. Who is this for?
This is for anyone that wakes up every morning and needs grace and mercy, which is in the form of our breath. And a lot of times we breathe from a very superficial place. That means we don't allow ourselves to get into the depths of who we are. So when we breathe superficially, that means that we're not expanding our lungs. There's healing there. It works twofold. From a spiritual standpoint and also from a physical standpoint, we must keep breathing to live.
And it's funny you brought up the church because I was just thinking, and I just read this post where they were talking about singles in the church. She posted how she felt like in the church in general, not in specific churches, but in general, they teach us to be wives, but they never talk to the men about being husbands. So we always hear, women, you got to be a good wife. You got to have yourself ready for the right man. You need to make sure that you're good. But we don't hear that about men like brothers. You may not have had a father in your life, or nobody talks to them the way they talk to us. Is that just me, or is that y'all? Kim Lake, what do you feel about that? Oh, whichever one.
Thinking back, like being a young girl, growing up with dating or talking about sex, it was always like women focused. Like you keep yourself pure, you do this, and then like as you get older, like we're the ones that look at dating shows and read dating books because it's like our culture like grooms us to be wives and like mothers. But for men, it just like, I mean, how many men's conferences or men's books or the male versions of a Steve Harvey or Tony Gaskins, like I really can't name them that are targeted for men. So I think that's true. And I really think, I mean, the men need to be the ones getting to schooling for real because that's who's going to lead the family. So, like,
come on now.
So it's sad, but hopefully, maybe things will start changing because people are starting to talk about that. So hopefully that'll change.
I agree. What about you, Kim Grayson?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. And like the other Kim just said, men are not taught that they should be good husbands and good fathers and good leaders. They're not taught that they should be great protectors and providers. Well, it's not as big a deal. I won't say they're not taught because a lot of them are taught, but it's not as big a deal in the church as it is for a woman. Right. Everything she should do, what she should say, how she should dress, how she should look. And if you don't do this, you're not going to get a husband. Like, it's almost like they make you feel like a husband is the ultimate ticket to heaven.
Right.
Like, if you don't have a husband, you can't get there. So, yeah, I think you're right.
And if you're watching and you got comments about this, I know y'all are like, that's right. Go ahead on and comment in there and let us know how you feeling about it too. I would love to read that. And if you're watching, let us know where you're watching and tuning in from as well. The next thing I wanted to talk about is being picky and having standards, because I've been told I'm picky. Even my father told me I was picky. But in my opinion, I like this, I like that, and I don't like this, I don't like that. So I'm ready to just get what I like. And I guess I've just been very decisive. I don't feel like it's pickiness, but y'all know me, so y'all might feel that way too. But anyway, so two of you all, what do you all feel about picky and standards? Whichever one wants to go first.
Well, I'll say there is a difference between being picky and being standard. And I'll just take some of my issues. requiring a
I already know this is going to be
you know
funny.
me. When I go on a first date, the first date question is, do you believe in Jesus Christ? If your answer is no, that's the end of it. That's a standard. But if I go on a first date and I don't like the way your clothes fit you, that's picky. If your swag ain't on 10, and your swag ain't on 10,000, that's picky. Standards are things, to me, are things that should be embedded in a person. When am I making sense?
No, it makes
To me,
sense.
a
It makes
standard
sense.
is something that I want in a person that's already in them, not something that I can groom them for. To me,
Right.
picky issues are things that I could possibly groom you for. That's my version of it.
Gotcha. Okay. What about you, Kim Lake?
Yeah, so I agree with Kim. I think when you have standards, I say that's like a non-negotiable. So like I'm a Christian, so I need to be with somebody that's a Christian. I want to have children, so I need to be with somebody that wants to have children, I should say, excuse me. There's certain standards that you have that you shouldn't like give up on because they're like true to you. But as she said, there's picky because like I have literally had conversations with women where I'll be like, so they'll like for height, for instance, they're stuck on a specific height. So like I said, so if a guy is everything you want and he ain't 6'3", he's 5'10", like would you talk to him? And it's like, well, he ain't everything I want then. So I'm like, okay, like stuff like that, like that's being picky to me. So and I think like she was saying about the clothes or like Steve Harvey or Russell Wilson, like pre their wives, like their fashion just wasn't on point.
Right.
But Marjorie and Sierra, like, got them together. So I think as long as you have those core values and things that you really need in a partner there, then the other things can be like changed. So you ain't got to be picky. Just keep your standards, and then what can be changed, you can work on, like a house. Have a little fixer upper. So
Yeah. As long as you got that good foundation, that's what we're looking for. The
right.
foundation got to be, you don't want nobody you just got to have the core values got to be good. And, you can change out a window or, the shrubbery or something if you're cleaning up. You can do that, but we can't be repaving a whole driveway and digging up and all that. No. But yeah, thank y'all for that. The next thing I wanted to ask, I know the two of you have different personalities. Kim Grayson is more of an extrovert, in my opinion. She's kind of an introvert, extrovert, depending on who she's with. But the way she's out all the time, she's an extrovert. And Kim Lake is more of an introvert. So I know your personalities. And I'm going to start with this with Kim Grayson. She'll call me and say, hey, we going and we doing this and we doing that. Da, 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 da. How do you remain out and open, say it, like going out and doing things when you get into a routine? I know you talk about being busy.
Because I am very, very busy, I consider myself an excellent manager of my time. So just being transparent, I schedule it in my calendar. Even like getting out by myself, going places to have dinner, just to sit at the sports bar at the bar and see, I put it on my calendar because if it's not on my calendar, it won't happen. So even when I'm hanging out with friends, whatever the schedule is, I have to put it on my calendar so that, and if it's on there, I'm gonna do it. And sometimes I've been known to have to force myself to get out because my day starts at 5 a.m. and by 7 p.m. I've been running since 5 a.m. You really want me to take a shower and put on clothes and look
Right.
decent and wear? But it's like, this is what you have to do, in order to be sociable. So that, and living alone also, you don't want to be in the house by yourself all the time because then you start talking to people that are not there. So, but basically, I put it on my calendar. I just put it on my calendar.
I got you. Makes sense. A lot of sense. I need to start doing that. Just putting it on the calendar. What about you, Kim? I know with you being an introvert, how do you? And we have a lot of people who might be watching now, and it's like, I don't want to go out. I don't want to meet nobody, but I do want to be married. I do want to date somebody. I do want to do something. Is there something that you do to kind of combat that with your personality?
Yes. Well, look, I'm gonna talk to my introverts out there. You know, when you're an introvert, people like to make you feel like something is wrong with you. But there's nothing wrong with you. That's just your personality, how God made you. So like you should work with the strength of your introvertness, if that's a word. So we thrive one-on-one in intimate and small group settings. So like when I moved, for instance, to Nashville, I did not know anybody in Nashville. I downloaded an app called Meetup, and on Meetup there's like anything you have an interest in, there's like a group for it. So whatever I was interested in, from books to restaurants to outdoor things, like I looked up those small groups. You know, it might be coffee shops, small group settings, small groups, anything that's small or intimate, we're just more comfortable in, and it doesn't drain us with that. And also online dating. I mean, now we're in the social media age. Like Steve, look, I keep saying Steve Harvey, but he be talking all the time. So Steve Harvey talks about, you know, you can just put up a profile and guys will come to your message you or DM you or try to call you. And that's true. Like you can literally throw up a profile and you'll get interaction that way. So I think looking at small group activities and things that are online with your interests, because when we're interested in something, that's when we come out the most. So I think looking at those two things will help you being an introvert.
Well, it would sound like we got us two dating coaches on here today, y'all. They told us how to get. If you want to go out, follow Kim Grayson. You want to be an introvert. Look, y'all need to start a little business. You'll get everybody popping, on and popping. But I'm so grateful that you all were able to come. Anything that you want to say to anybody that's single, any single female? And I'll start with you, Kim. Like any encouraging words that you want to give to somebody today about being single?
Well, being single is not a curse. You are whole. You are a complete person on your own. So being with somebody doesn't add value to you. You are born with that value. You have it. Nothing can take it away. So just continue to live your life, find your purpose, work on yourself. And I believe when it's the right time, you know, you'll cross paths with who you want to be with, and who you desire to be with, if that's what you want to do. And if you want to stay single, that's cool too. You know, we all have different paths. So just find your path, live it, and just trust God to do the rest.
Amen. Amen. What about you, Kim Grayson?
Well, I will say, always remember, no matter who you meet, who they are, where you meet them, you are enough for every situation. You are enough to be a wife. You are enough to be a girlfriend. You are enough to do whatever, go wherever, and accomplish whatever you want. So don't allow other people in their circumstances to determine who you are and where you're going. Don't settle, because you're enough to get whatever it is you want. Do not settle just because you don't want to be alone. And
wow, that's good. She said, and that's that on that. Very good. I love it. I love it. I love it. But thank you guys for both being on the pink table. Y'all have to really come back for real, because I feel like we kind of scratched the surface, but we really didn't dig in there where we really, you know. But we'll do that at another time. But Kim Grayson, thank you for being on. Kim Lake, thank you both for coming. I appreciate it. Make sure that you share this video with your friend. They just spit some good wisdom to us, ladies. All right. Love you guys. Thank y'all for being here, and we'll see you next time.
all right, bye. Thank you.
Every couple argues, fights, has disagreements. but that disagreement does not give you the license to kill.
Let's be real. We're angry for so long about something, whatever it is, and we're just waiting on that moment to be able to pull it out and shoot.
When you know your spouse so well, you know where the kill shot is.